What is the primary site of photosynthesis in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Leaves. Which pigment is responsible for absorbing light in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Chlorophyll. What are the end products of the light reaction in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ATP, NADPH, and oxygen. What is the primary electron donor in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water. H2O. Which enzyme is involved in carbon fixation during the Calvin cycle?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Rubisco, ribulose 1,5-bisphosphate carboxylase, oxygenase. What is the significance of the C4 pathway in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
It minimizes photorespiration and increases efficiency of carbon fixation in hot, dry conditions. What are the 3 stages of Calvin cycle?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Carboxylation, reduction, and regeneration. What is the role of stomata in transpiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Stomata allow water vapor to escape, facilitating transpiration. How do plants absorb water from the soil?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Through root hair cells by osmosis. What is the function of xylem in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Transport of water and minerals from roots to other parts of the plant. What is the pressure flow hypothesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
It explains the movement of sugars in phloem, driven by pressure differences between source and sink cells. What are plant growth regulators, PGRs?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Hormones that regulate plant growth and development, including auxins, gibberellins, cytokinins, ethylene, and ABA. What is the main function of auxins in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Promotes cell elongation and are involved in apical dominance, root growth, and phototropism. What is the role of gibberellins in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Stimulates stem elongation, seed germination, and fruit development. Which plant hormone is responsible for fruit ripening?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ethylene. What is the role of abscisic acid, ABA, in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
It promotes dormancy, stress responses, and stomatal closure during water stress. What is photoperiodism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The response of plants to the length of day and night, influencing flowering. What is vernalization?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Induction of flowering by exposure to cold temperatures. What is the significance of the Kranz anatomy in C4 plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Specialized leaf anatomy that facilitates the C4 pathway, reducing photorespiration. What is translocation in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Movement of organic nutrients. Mainly sucrose. From the leaves to other parts of the plant via phloem. What is root pressure?
3, 2, 1, 0.
A positive pressure in roots that helps in pushing water upwards through the xylem. What is guttation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Loss of water droplets from the edges of leaves, typically occurring in the morning. What is the role of ATP synthase in chloroplasts?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Synthesizes ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate using the energy from the proton gradient across the thylakoid membrane. What is the role of NADP+ in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
It acts as an electron carrier, getting reduced to NADPH in the light reaction. Which phase of the Calvin cycle is responsible for carbon fixation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Carboxylation phase. But how does CAM photosynthesis differ from C3 and C4 pathways?
3, 2, 1, 0.
CAM plants open stomata at night to minimize water loss and fix carbon in the form of malate. What is the role of guard cells in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Control the opening and closing of stomata. What is the chemical formula of photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
6CO2 plus 6H2O plus light right pointing arrow C6H12O6 plus 6O2. What is the significance of transpiration in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Helps in the ascent of sap, cooling the plant, and maintaining water balance. What is the importance of the cohesion tension theory?
3, 2, 1, 0.
It explains the movement of water through xylem based on water cohesion and the pull created by transpiration. What are lenticels and their function?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Small openings in stems and roots for gaseous exchange. Which type of light is most effective in driving photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Red and blue light. What is the role of photolysis in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Splitting of water molecules to release oxygen, electrons, and protons during the light reaction. What is the function of ferredoxin in the light reaction of photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
It transfers electrons to NADP+ to form NADPH in non-cyclic photophosphorylation. What is photorespiration and why is it considered wasteful?
3, 2, 1, 0.
It consumes oxygen and releases carbon dioxide without producing ATP or NADPH. Why do C4 plants have a higher photosynthetic efficiency than C3 plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
C4 plants avoid photorespiration by using a mechanism that efficiently fixes CO2 at low concentrations. What is the compensation point in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The light intensity at which the rate of photosynthesis equals the rate of respiration. What is the role of root pressure in water transport?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Root pressure pushes water upwards through the xylem when transpiration is low. What is active transport in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Movement of molecules across membranes against the concentration gradient using energy, ATP. What is plasmolysis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Contraction of the protoplast due to loss of water in a hypertonic solution. What is osmosis and how is it important for plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Movement of water across a semi-permeable membrane from high to low water potential. Essential for water absorption. How do auxins influence phototropism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxins accumulate on the shaded side of the plant, promoting cell elongation and causing the plant to bend toward light. What are the effects of cytokinin in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Promotes cell division, delays leaf senescence, and helps in shoot growth. What is apical dominance and which hormone is responsible for it?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Suppression of lateral bud growth by the apical bud, primarily regulated by auxins. How does ethylene affect seed germination?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ethylene promotes seed germination by breaking seed dormancy. What is senescence in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The process of aging in plants, involving the breakdown of cellular components, often regulated by ethylene and ABA. What is abscission in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The natural detachment of leaves, flowers, or fruits from the plant, often regulated by ethylene. What are the main steps of aerobic respiration in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and electron transport chain, etc. Where does glycolysis occur in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
In the cytoplasm. What is the net gain of ATP in glycolysis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
2 ATP molecules. Where does the Krebs cycle occur in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
In the mitochondrial matrix. What is oxidative phosphorylation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Production of ATP from ADP and inorganic phosphate using energy from the electron transport chain. In the mitochondria. What is the final electron acceptor in the electron transport chain in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Oxygen. How much ATP is produced from the complete oxidation of one glucose molecule in aerobic respiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
36 to 38 ATP molecules. What is the respiratory quotient, RQ?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The ratio of CO2 produced to O2 consumed during respiration. What is anaerobic respiration and when does it occur in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Respiration that occurs without oxygen. producing ethanol or lactic acid, typically under oxygen-deficient conditions. What is the difference between respiration and photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photosynthesis stores energy in glucose, while respiration releases energy from glucose. What is the function of ATP in active transport in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Provides the energy needed for the active transport of molecules across membranes. What is imbibition in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Absorption of water by solid particles, causing swelling, e.g., seeds. What are aquaporins?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water channel proteins that facilitate rapid movement of water across cell membranes. How does the root cap help in water and mineral absorption?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Protects the growing root tip and secretes mucilage to ease root penetration through the soil. What is the source of oxygen released during photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water, H2O. What is the importance of protons in chemiosmosis during photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Protons create a gradient across the thylakoid membrane, driving ATP synthesis through ATP synthase. How does the C3 pathway differ from the C4 pathway?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The C3 pathway fixes CO2 directly into a 3-carbon compound, while the C4 pathway fixes CO2 into a 4-carbon compound first. How does the temperature affect the rate of respiration in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Respiration increases with temperature up to an optimum, then decreases at higher temperatures due to enzyme denaturation. How is water absorbed by root hairs?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water is absorbed by osmosis from the soil into root hairs. What is the function of stomatal crypts in xerophytic plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Reduce water loss by trapping water vapor and minimizing the exposure of stomata to dry air. What is meant by the term halophytes?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants that grow in saline environments and have adaptations to tolerate high salt concentrations. What is the significance of the Z scheme in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Describes the movement of electrons through photosystems iron II, driving ATP and NADPH production. What is the effect of light wavelength on photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Blue and red wavelengths are most effective for photosynthesis, while green light is least absorbed. What is the role of malate in CAM plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Malate, ACTS, is a temporary storage form of CO2 during the night in CAM plants, which is used for photosynthesis during the day. What is the role of pyruvate in aerobic respiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Pyruvate is the end product of glycolysis and enters the mitochondria for further oxidation in the Krebs cycle. Why do plants undergo anaerobic respiration under waterlogged conditions?
3, 2, 1, 0.
In the absence of oxygen, plants switch to anaerobic respiration to produce ATP, resulting in the formation of ethanol or lactic acid. What is the role of phytochrome in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phytochrome is a photoreceptor pigment involved in detecting light, regulating processes like seed germination and flowering. How do gibberellins promote fruit setting?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Gibberellins stimulate cell division and elongation, promoting fruit development. What is the significance of etiolation in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Etiolation is the process of plant growth in partial or complete absence of light, resulting in elongated stems and pale leaves. What is the role of succinate dehydrogenase in the Krebs cycle?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Catalyzes the oxidation of succinate to fumarate, producing FADH2 for the electron transport chain. What is the Pasteur effect in plant respiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The decrease in the rate of glycolysis when oxygen is present. As aerobic respiration becomes more efficient. What is the role of manganese in the splitting of water during photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Manganese acts as a cofactor in the water-splitting complex, aiding the release of oxygen in the light reaction. How is the photoperiodic response regulated in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The length of day and night, photoperiod, is detected by phytochrome, which regulates flowering and other developmental processes. What are the main products of the Krebs cycle?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Colorado 2, ATP, NADH, and FADH2. How do plants respond to drought stress?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants close stomata, increase ABA production, and may reduce growth to conserve water. What is the Hill reaction?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The light-dependent reduction of an electron acceptor by isolated chloroplasts, leading to the evolution of oxygen. What are the differences between a climacteric and non-climacteric fruit?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Climacteric fruits exhibit a rise in respiration during ripening, regulated by ethylene, while non-climacteric fruits do not. What is the significance of root pressure in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Root pressure helps in the upward movement of water in small plants during the night. What role does abscisic acid, ABA, play during drought conditions?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ABA promotes stomatal closure to reduce water loss under water stress. How does pressure flow hypothesis explain translocation of sugars?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Sugars are transported from source to sink due to pressure gradient created by water movement into phloem. What is the difference between apoplastic and symplastic pathways in water movement?
3,
Apoplastic movement occurs through cell walls, while symplastic movement occurs through the cytoplasm. What is guttation, and when does it occur?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Guttation is the loss of water droplets from leaf margins, occurring under conditions of high soil moisture and low transpiration. What is the role of rubisco enzyme in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Rubisco catalyzes the fixation of carbon dioxide into an organic compound during the Calvin cycle. How does photophosphorylation differ from oxidative phosphorylation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photophosphorylation occurs in chloroplasts during photosynthesis, while oxidative phosphorylation occurs in mitochondria during respiration. What is Cran's anatomy, and in which plants is it found?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cran's anatomy refers to the special arrangement of cells in C4 plants, with bundle sheath cells surrounding the veins. What is the role of NADPH in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
NADPH is used in the Calvin cycle to reduce carbon compounds during the synthesis of sugars. How does CO2 concentration affect photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Higher CO2 concentration increases the rate of photosynthesis up to a point, after which it becomes saturated. What is the function of the enzyme PEP carboxylase in C4 plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
PEP carboxylase fixes CO2 into a 4-carbon compound in mesophyll cells during C4 photosynthesis. What are respiratory quotients, RQ, and what do they indicate?
3, 2, 1, 0.
RQ is the ratio of CO2 produced to O2 consumed, indicating the type of substrate being used in respiration. What is the difference between cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cyclic photophosphorylation involves only photosystem I and produces ATP, while non-cyclic involves both photosystems and produces ATP and NADPH. How do legumes fix atmospheric nitrogen?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Legumes form symbiotic relationships with rhizobium bacteria, which fix nitrogen in root nodules. What is apical dominance, and how is it regulated?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Apical dominance is the suppression of lateral bud growth by the apical bud, regulated by auxin. What is the role of cytochromes in the electron transport chain?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cytochromes act as electron carriers in the electron transport chain, facilitating the transfer of electrons. How does ethylene influence fruit ripening?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ethylene promotes fruit ripening by stimulating enzymes that soften the fruit and convert starch to sugar. What is the importance of oxygen in aerobic respiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Oxygen acts as the final electron acceptor in the electron transport chain. allowing the generation of ATP. What is the function of the palisade parenchyma in leaves?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Palisade parenchyma cells contain chloroplasts and are the primary site for photosynthesis in leaves. How do plants detect gravity, gravitropism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Gravity is detected by statoliths, starch grains, in root cap cells, influencing growth direction. What is the role of hydrogen ions in ATP synthesis in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Hydrogen ions flow through ATP synthase in the thylakoid membrane, providing the energy to synthesize ATP. What are the main factors affecting transpiration in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Transpiration is affected by factors such as temperature, humidity, wind, and light. What is the effect of temperature on enzyme activity in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Enzyme activity increases with temperature up to an optimum level, after which it declines due to denaturation. How do mycorrhizal fungi benefit plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Mycorrhiza enhance water and nutrient absorption in plants by increasing root surface area. How does CAM photosynthesis differ from C3 and C4 photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
In CAM photosynthesis, CO2 is fixed at night and stored as malate, which is used during the day for photosynthesis. How does chlorophyll absorb light energy?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Chlorophyll absorbs light primarily in the blue and red regions of the spectrum, using the energy for photosynthesis. What is the significance of the compensation point in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The compensation point is when the rate of photosynthesis equals the rate of respiration, with no net gas exchange. What are the differences between respiration and fermentation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Respiration is aerobic, producing more ATP, while fermentation is anaerobic and produces less ATP. What are the main steps in glycolysis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Glycolysis involves the breakdown of glucose into pyruvate, producing ATP and NADH. How do auxins affect plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxins promote cell elongation, root initiation, and apical dominance. How do plants respond to flooding conditions?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants develop parenchyma, air spaces, in roots and stem to facilitate oxygen transport in flooded conditions. How do pericycle cells contribute to lateral root formation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Pericycle cells located just inside the endodermis divide to form new lateral roots. What is the role of plastocyanin in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plastocyanin is a copper-containing protein that transfers electrons between cytochrome B6F and photosystem I. How does transpiration create a negative pressure in xylem vessels?
3,
Water evaporates from leaf surfaces, creating a tension that pulls water upwards through the xylem. What is the role of endodermis in water transport in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Endodermis contains the Casparian strip, which ensures that water and solutes pass through selectively permeable membranes. What is vernalization, and how does it affect flowering in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Vernalization is the induction of flowering by exposing plants to prolonged cold temperatures. How does stomata regulate gas exchange and water loss in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Stomata open and close based on turgor pressure in guard cells, controlling gas exchange and water loss. What is the function of the bundle sheath in C4 plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Bundle sheath cells in C4 plants house rubisco, where the Calvin cycle occurs, avoiding oxygenation of RUBP. What is the role of FADH2 in plant respiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
FAD2 donates electrons to the electron transport chain in mitochondria, contributing to ATP synthesis. What is photorespiration, and how does it affect photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photorespiration is a wasteful process where rubisco fixes oxygen instead of CO2, reducing the efficiency of photosynthesis. How does cyanobacteria contribute to nitrogen fixation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cyanobacteria possess nitrogenase enzymes that convert atmospheric nitrogen, N2, into ammonia, NH3. What is the role of hormones in senescence?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ethylene and abscisic acid promote senescence by regulating nutrient mobilization and the breakdown of cell components. What is the function of phloem in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phloem transports organic nutrients like sugars from source tissues, leaves, to sink tissues, roots, fruits. How does phytochrome control flowering in short-day plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phytochrome detects the length of night, triggering flowering in short-day plants when nights are long. What is water potential, and how is it measured in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water potential is the potential energy of water in a system, measured in megapascals, MPa, influencing water movement. What are sink and source tissues in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Source tissues produce sugars, e.g., leaves, while sink tissues consume or store sugars, e.g., roots, fruits. How does oxygen affect nitrogen fixation in root nodules?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Nitrogen fixation requires low oxygen levels, maintained by leg hemoglobin in root nodules. What are the different phases of the Calvin cycle?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The Calvin cycle consists of carbon fixation, reduction, and regeneration of RUBP. How do carnivorous plants obtain nitrogen?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Carnivorous plants trap and digest insects to obtain nitrogen, which is often deficient in their environments. How does auxin regulate root growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxin promotes root elongation at low concentrations but inhibits root growth at high concentrations. What is the function of xanthophyll in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Xanthophyll is involved in photoprotection, dissipating excess light energy as heat. How does carbon dioxide enter the leaves of plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
CO2 enters leaves through stomata, which open and close based on environmental conditions. How do proton pumps aid in nutrient absorption in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Proton pumps generate a proton gradient that facilitates the uptake of nutrients like potassium and nitrate by active transport. What is the significance of plastids in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plastids are involved in photosynthesis, storage of starch, and synthesis of fatty acids and pigments. What is osmoregulation in plants, and how is it achieved?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Osmoregulation is the control of water balance in cells, achieved through mechanisms like opening and closing of stomata. How do leguminous plants benefit from symbiotic nitrogen fixation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Leguminous plants get nitrogen from rhizobium bacteria, which fix atmospheric nitrogen in root nodules. What is the role of boron in plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Boron is essential for cell wall formation and translocation of sugars and calcium in plants. How do chloroplasts capture light energy for photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Chloroplasts capture light energy using pigments like chlorophyll in the thylakoid membranes. How does CO2 fixation differ between C3 and C4 plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
In C3 plants, CO2 is fixed directly by rubisco, while in C4 plants, CO2 is initially fixed into a 4-carbon compound by PEP carboxylase. What is transpiration pull, and how does it assist in water transport?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Transpiration pull is the suction force created by evaporation of water from leaves, helping pull water upward through xylem. What is the role of magnesium in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Magnesium is a central element in the chlorophyll molecule, essential for capturing light energy during photosynthesis. How do guard cells generate turgor pressure to open stomata?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Guard cells pump in potassium ions, causing water to flow in, increasing turgor pressure and opening the stomata. What are the 2 stages of photosynthesis, and what happens in each?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The light-dependent reactions capture light energy to produce ATP and NADPH. while the Calvin cycle uses these molecules to fix carbon into sugars. How do plants use ATP and NADPH during the Calvin cycle?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ATP provides energy, and NADPH provides reducing power to convert CO2 into glucose during the Calvin cycle. How does pH affect enzyme activity in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Enzymes have an optimal pH range, and deviations can denature enzymes or change their activity. What is the role of transpiration in temperature regulation of plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Transpiration cools plants by evaporating water from leaf surfaces, similar to sweating in animals. How do C4 plants minimize photorespiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
C4 plants fix CO2 in mesophyll cells using PEP carboxylase, avoiding oxygenation by rubisco in bundle sheath cells. What are the products of cyclic photophosphorylation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cyclic photophosphorylation produces only ATP, as electrons return to photosystem I without forming NADPH. How does osmosis contribute to water movement in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water moves into plant cells via osmosis, driven by differences in water potential between the cell interior and exterior. What is the role of zinc in plant metabolism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Zinc is a cofactor for enzymes involved in growth regulation and auxin synthesis. How does water stress affect plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water stress reduces cell expansion, photosynthesis, and nutrient uptake, leading to stunted growth and wilting. What are macronutrients and micronutrients, and why are they important for plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Macronutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus are needed in large amounts, while micronutrients like iron are needed in trace amounts for enzyme function. How does oxygen concentration affect respiration in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Higher oxygen concentration promotes aerobic respiration, while low oxygen levels can trigger anaerobic respiration or fermentation. What is the role of proton gradients in ATP production during photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Proton gradients across the thylakoid membrane drive ATP synthesis by ATP synthase during photophosphorylation. What are the components of the electron transport chain in mitochondria?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The electron transport chain includes complexes IIV, coenzyme Q, and cytochrome C, which transfer electrons to oxygen. How do CAM plants adapt to arid environments?
3, 2, 1, 0.
CAM plants fix CO2 at night and store it as malic acid, which is used for photosynthesis during the day to conserve water. What is the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Aerobic respiration uses oxygen to produce more ATP, while anaerobic respiration occurs without oxygen, producing less ATP. How does abscisic acid help plants cope with drought stress?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Abscisic acid induces stomatal closure, reduces transpiration, and increases root growth to help plants conserve water. What is the role of calcium in cell wall structure and signaling?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Calcium cross-links pectin molecules in the cell wall, contributing to its stability, and also functions as a secondary messenger in signal transduction. How does the xylem transport water in tall trees?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Xylem transports water via transpiration pull, cohesion, and adhesion, allowing water to rise from roots to leaves. What is the role of plastids in plant cells other than photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plastids store starch, amyloplasts, lipids, eleoplasts, or pigments, chromoplasts, in addition to performing photosynthesis. Chloroplasts. What are nastic movements in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Nastic movements are non-directional responses to stimuli, like the closing of mimosa leaves in response to touch. How do plants overcome nitrogen deficiency in nutrient-poor soils?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Nitrogen-fixing bacteria in the soil or root nodules of legumes convert atmospheric nitrogen into usable forms. How do environmental conditions influence stomatal density?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Stomatal density increases in dry environments to maximize gas exchange efficiency, and decreases in humid conditions to minimize water loss. How do mycorrhiza help plants absorb nutrients?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Mycorrhiza are symbiotic fungi that increase the surface area of roots for better absorption of water and minerals, especially phosphorus. How does the transpiration stream help in the ascent of sap?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The transpiration stream creates a negative pressure in the leaves, pulling water upward from the roots through the xylem. What are the conditions required for seed germination?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Seed germination requires water, oxygen, and an optimal temperature, and in some cases, light or a cold period. How does ethylene regulate fruit ripening?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ethylene is a gaseous hormone that accelerates the ripening of fruits by breaking down cell walls and converting starches to sugars. What is guttation, and how is it different from transpiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Guttation is the exudation of water droplets from leaf edges due to root pressure, while transpiration is water loss through stomata. How does the nitrogen cycle contribute to soil fertility?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The nitrogen cycle converts atmospheric nitrogen into usable forms like ammonium and nitrate, which plants absorb for growth. What is the significance of Cran's anatomy in C4 plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Halophytes have salt glands, specialized vacuoles, and other mechanisms to excrete or store excess salt, allowing them to survive in saline conditions. How do phytochromes regulate plant responses to light?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cran's anatomy refers to the specialized arrangement of mesophyll and bundle sheath cells in C4 plants, which minimizes photorespiration. How do xerophytes conserve water in arid environments?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phytochromes are photoreceptors that absorb red and far-red light, helping regulate processes like germination, flowering, and circadian rhythms. What role does water potential play in water movement in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Xerophytes have adaptations like thick cuticles, reduced leaf area, sunken stomata, and CAM metabolism to minimize water loss. How does phototropism occur in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water moves from areas of higher water potential to lower water potential, driven by osmotic gradients, pressure, and solute concentrations. How does oxidative phosphorylation generate ATP in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phototropism is the growth of plants toward light, regulated by the hormone auxin, which accumulates on the shaded side of the plant and promotes cell elongation. What is the role of potassium ions in stomatal movement?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Oxidative phosphorylation uses the energy released from electrons moving through the mitochondrial electron transport chain to drive ATP synthesis by ATP synthase. How does cytochrome C oxidase function in the electron transport chain of mitochondria?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Potassium ions are pumped into guard cells, causing them to swell with water and open stomata, while their exit causes stomata to close. What is plasmolysis, and how does it affect plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cytochrome C oxidase transfers electrons to oxygen, the final electron acceptor, and pumps protons across the membrane to generate a proton gradient for ATP production. How does auxin affect apical dominance in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plasmolysis occurs when plant cells lose water in a hypertonic solution, causing the cell membrane to pull away from the cell wall. How do plants respond to mechanical stress, thymotropism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxin produced at the shoot apex inhibits the growth of lateral buds, maintaining apical dominance. What are the main differences between C3, C4, and CAM plants in terms of CO2 fixation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants respond to mechanical stress by changing growth direction, such as in tendrils that curl around a support in response to touch. How do climacteric fruits differ from non-climacteric fruits in ripening?
3, 2, 1, 0.
C3 plants fix CO2 directly via rubisco. C4 plants fix CO2 into a 4-carbon compound via PEP carboxylase. And CAM plants fix CO2 at night to minimize water loss. How does carbon fixation differ in the Calvin cycle and the Hatch-Slack pathway?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Climacteric fruits, like bananas, show a rise in respiration and ethylene production during ripening, while non-climacteric fruits, like grapes, do not. What is the role of ferredoxin in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
In the Calvin cycle, CO2 is fixed directly by rubisco in C3 plants, while in the Hatch-Slack pathway, C4 plants, CO2 is first fixed into a 4-carbon compound. How do lenticels facilitate gas exchange in woody plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ferredoxin transfers electrons from photosystem I to NADP plus reductase, where NADPH is formed in the light-dependent reactions. How does the symplastic pathway differ from the apoplastic pathway in water transport?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Lenticels are small pores in the bark of woody plants that allow oxygen to enter and carbon dioxide to exit for cellular respiration. What is senescence, and how is it regulated in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
In the symplastic pathway, water moves through the cytoplasm of cells connected by plasmodesmata, while in the apoplastic pathway, it moves through cell walls and intercellular spaces. How does photoperiodism influence flowering in short-day and long-day plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ATP synthase uses the proton gradient across the thylakoid membrane to convert ADP and inorganic phosphate into ATP during photophosphorylation. What is the role of coenzymes NADH and FADH2 in cellular respiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Short-day plants flower when nights are long, while long-day plants flower when nights are short, regulated by the phytochrome system. What is the role of stomata in gas exchange?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Stomata regulate the exchange of gases, allowing CO2 to enter for photosynthesis and O2 to exit, while controlling water loss through transpiration. How do CAM plants optimize water use in arid environments?
3, 2, 1, 0.
CAM plants open their stomata at night to fix CO2 into organic acids, reducing water loss during the day when stomata remain closed. How do sieve tubes and companion cells function in phloem transport?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Sieve tubes transport sugars and nutrients, while companion cells provide metabolic support and help load and unload solutes. What is the function of the Casparian strip in root endodermis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The Casparian strip blocks the apoplastic flow of water and minerals, forcing them to enter the symplastic pathway for selective uptake. How does carbon dioxide concentration affect the rate of photosynthesis? Increasing CO2 concentration boosts photosynthesis up to a certain point, after which other factors like light or temperature become limiting. What are the key components of the Z scheme in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The Z scheme involves the flow of electrons from photosystem II to photosystem I, generating ATP and NADPH in the light-dependent reactions. How does abscisic acid, ABA, regulate stomatal closure?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Abscisic acid triggers the efflux of potassium ions from guard cells, leading to water loss and stomatal closure, especially under drought stress. How do legumes form symbiotic relationships with nitrogen-fixing bacteria?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Legumes form root nodules that house nitrogen-fixing rhizobium bacteria, which convert atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, benefiting both the plant and bacteria. What is photolysis of water, and where does it occur?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photolysis is the splitting of water molecules into oxygen, protons, and electrons using light energy, occurring in photosystem II. How does the pressure flow hypothesis explain translocation in the phloem?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The pressure flow hypothesis suggests that sugars are actively loaded into phloem at source tissues, creating a pressure gradient that drives the flow to sink tissues. What are the factors that affect the rate of transpiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The rate of transpiration is affected by factors like light intensity, temperature, humidity, wind speed, and the number of open stomata. What is the role of ATP in active transport across cell membranes?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ATP provides energy for the active transport of ions and molecules across cell membranes, moving them against their concentration gradient. How do the Calvin cycle and Hatch-Slack pathway differ in terms of their enzymes?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The Calvin cycle uses riboscope for carbon fixation, while the Hatch-Slack C4 pathway uses PEP carboxylase to initially fix CO2 in mesophyll cells. What is the difference between photorespiration and normal respiration in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photorespiration occurs in the presence of light when riboscope fixes oxygen instead of CO2, wasting energy, while normal respiration breaks down glucose to produce energy. What is apical dominance, and which hormone regulates it?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Apical dominance is the suppression of lateral bud growth by the shoot apex, primarily regulated by auxins produced at the tip. How does water potential influence osmosis in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water potential determines the direction of water movement. Water moves from regions of higher water potential to regions of lower water potential. How do plants maintain turgor pressure?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants maintain turgor pressure by absorbing water through osmosis into vacuoles, which press against the cell wall, keeping cells rigid and preventing wilting. What is the significance of cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Non-cyclic photophosphorylation produces both ATP and NADPH, while cyclic photophosphorylation produces only ATP, ensuring a balance for the Calvin cycle. What is the role of cytokinins in cell division?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cytokinins promote cell division by stimulating mitosis and are involved in the regulation of growth, development, and the delay of senescence in plants. How does vernalization influence flowering in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Vernalization is the induction of flowering by prolonged exposure to cold temperatures, which triggers physiological changes necessary for flowering. How does the enzyme rubisco function differently in the presence of oxygen?
3, 2, 1, 0.
In the presence of oxygen, rubisco catalyzes the oxygenation of RUBP, leading to photorespiration, which reduces photosynthetic efficiency. How do aquaporins facilitate water movement in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Aquaporins are channel proteins in cell membranes that allow the rapid movement of water molecules, facilitating osmosis and water balance. How does the Q10 coefficient explain the effect of temperature on metabolic processes in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The Q10 coefficient measures the rate of metabolic reactions with a 10 degrees Celsius increase in temperature. Most metabolic processes in plants follow this relationship, with rates doubling or tripling as temperature rises. How does phloem loading occur during translocation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phloem loading occurs when sugars, mainly sucrose, are actively transported into sieve tube elements at the source, increasing the osmotic pressure and driving the flow toward sink tissues. What is etiolation, and how does it affect plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Etiolation is the growth of plants in the absence of light, characterized by elongated stems, small leaves, and pale color due to the lack of chlorophyll. What are the physiological effects of auxins on root development?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxins promote root initiation and elongation, and their concentration gradient affects the direction of root growth, often encouraging gravitropic responses. How does chlorophyll absorb light for photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Chlorophyll absorbs light most efficiently in the blue and red regions of the spectrum, using the energy for photosynthesis. What is the significance of water potential in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water potential determines the direction of water movement in plants, from regions of higher to lower water potential. How does the C4 pathway reduce photorespiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The C4 pathway spatially separates CO2 fixation and the Calvin cycle. concentrating CO2 in bundle sheath cells and minimizing oxygenation by rubisco. How does potassium regulate stomatal movement?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Potassium ions move into guard cells, causing them to take up water, swell, and open stomata. The reverse leads to stomatal closure. How do auxins influence phototropism in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxins accumulate on the shaded side of a plant, promoting cell elongation and causing the plant to bend toward light. What is the role of symplastic and apoplastic pathways in mineral transport?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The symplastic pathway moves minerals through the cytoplasm of plant cells via plasmodesmata, while the apoplastic pathway moves them through cell walls and intercellular spaces. How does the Calvin cycle use ATP and NADPH?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ATP and NADPH produced in the light-dependent reactions are used in the Calvin cycle to fix CO2 and produce glucose. What is the function of PEP carboxylase in C4 and CAM plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
PEP carboxylase fixes CO2 into a 4-carbon compound, preventing photorespiration and ensuring efficient carbon fixation in C4 and CAM plants. How does transpiration affect the movement of water in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Transpiration creates a negative pressure in the leaves, pulling water upward through the xylem from the roots via cohesion and adhesion. How do brassinosteroids influence plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Brassinosteroids promote cell elongation, division, and differentiation, and they also help in stress responses in plants. What is the role of cyclic electron transport in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cyclic electron transport generates ATP without producing NADPH by cycling electrons through photosystem I and back to the electron transport chain. How do sieve tube elements in the phloem function during translocation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Sieve tube elements transport sugars and other organic nutrients from source tissues, like leaves, to sink tissues, like roots. How do plants adapt to water stress using abscisic acid?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Abscisic acid promotes stomatal closure and induces dormancy in seeds to help plants conserve water during drought. What is the importance of respiration in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Respiration in plants breaks down carbohydrates into CO2 and water, releasing energy for growth and other metabolic activities. How do guard cells control the opening and closing of stomata?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Guard cells change shape due to the osmotic flow of water, driven by ion movement, to regulate the opening and closing of stomata. What is the function of NADP+ in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
NADP+ accepts electrons during the light-dependent reactions to form NADPH, which is used in the Calvin cycle for Count-2 fixation. How do auxins and cytokinins interact in plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxins promote cell elongation and root formation, while cytokinins promote cell division and shoot development. Their balance regulates organogenesis. What role do endodermal cells play in selective absorption in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Endodermal cells, with their Casparian strips, regulate the selective absorption of water and minerals into the xylem. How does sucrose loading into the phloem affect translocation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Sucrose loading into the phloem increases osmotic pressure, causing water to enter and generate a pressure flow that moves the sugar solution to sink tissues. How does oxygen concentration affect photorespiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Higher oxygen concentration increases the likelihood of rubisco binding with O2 instead of CO2, leading to photorespiration, which wastes energy. What is the significance of crassylation acid metabolism, CAM, in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
CAM is a photosynthetic adaptation in some plants that allows them to fix CO2 at night, reducing water loss in arid environments. How do temperature extremes affect enzyme activity in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Extreme temperatures can denature enzymes, reducing their activity, while optimal temperatures enhance their catalytic functions. What is the function of cytochromes in the electron transport chain of plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cytochromes are proteins in the electron transport chain that transfer electrons and help pump protons across the membrane to generate ATP. How do hydrophytes adapt to aquatic environments?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Hydrophytes, or water plants, have adaptations such as thin cuticles, large air spaces for buoyancy, and reduced vascular tissues. What is the role of carotenoids in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Carotenoids absorb light in wavelengths that chlorophyll cannot, extending the range of light that can drive photosynthesis. How does the leaf anatomy of xerophytes help them conserve water?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Xerophytes have thick cuticles, sunken stomata, and reduced leaf surface area to minimize water loss in arid conditions. What is the role of phototropins in plant movement?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phototropins are light receptors that detect blue light, triggering phototropic bending of plants toward the light source. How does the light saturation point affect the rate of photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The light saturation point is the intensity at which photosynthesis reaches its maximum rate. Beyond this point, light no longer increases the rate. What is the role of intercellular air spaces in plant leaves?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Intercellular airspaces in leaves allow for the diffusion of gases CO2 and O2 during photosynthesis and respiration. How does aerobic respiration differ from anaerobic respiration in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Aerobic respiration requires oxygen and produces more ATP by fully oxidizing glucose, while anaerobic respiration occurs without oxygen, producing less ATP and yielding byproducts like ethanol. How does gibberellin affect stem elongation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Gibberellins promote stem elongation by stimulating cell division and elongation in the internodes. How does leaf abscission occur, and what hormones are involved?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Leaf abscission occurs when auxin levels decrease and ethylene increases, leading to the breakdown of cells in the abscission zone. What is the role of light in photoperiodism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photoperiodism is the response of plants to the length of day and night, affecting flowering and other developmental processes. How do plants exhibit thymotropism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Thymotropism is the growth response to touch, seen in climbing plants like tendrils that wrap around objects for support. How does the Kranz anatomy of C4 plants reduce photorespiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Kranz anatomy in C4 plants has bundle sheath cells surrounding the vascular bundles, where CO2 is concentrated, reducing photorespiration. How does the enzyme pyruvate dehydrogenase contribute to cellular respiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Pyruvate dehydrogenase converts pyruvate into acetyl-CoA, which enters the Krebs cycle during aerobic respiration. How do leguminous plants enrich soil fertility?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Leguminous plants form symbiotic associations with nitrogen-fixing bacteria, converting atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, which enriches soil. What is the difference between macronutrients and micronutrients in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Macronutrients are needed in large quantities, e.g., nitrogen, potassium, while micronutrients are required in smaller amounts, e.g., iron, zinc. How does temperature affect the rate of photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The rate of photosynthesis increases with temperature up to an optimal point, after which enzymes denature, and the rate decreases. How does the cohesion tension theory explain water transport in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The cohesion tension theory states that water is pulled up the plant through the xylem by the cohesive properties of water molecules and the tension created by transpiration. What is the role of ferritin in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ferritin stores iron in plants and releases it when needed for essential functions like chlorophyll synthesis. How does the enzyme nitrogenase function in nitrogen fixation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Nitrogenase is the enzyme responsible for converting atmospheric nitrogen, N2, into ammonia, NH3, in nitrogen-fixing bacteria. How do CAM plants differ from C4 plants in their adaptation to arid conditions?
3, 2, 1, 0.
CAM plants fix CO2 at night and store it as malic acid, while C4 plants spatially separate CO2 fixation and the Calvin cycle. What role do gibberellins play in seed germination?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Gibberellins stimulate the production of enzymes that break down starch into sugars, providing energy for seed germination. What is the difference between water potential and osmotic potential?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water potential is the potential energy of water in a system, while osmotic potential is the component of water potential due to solute concentration. How does temperature affect enzyme activity in plant metabolism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Enzyme activity increases with temperature up to an optimum level. Beyond this, high temperatures denature the enzymes, reducing their activity. How does auxin promote apical dominance in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxin produced at the shoot apex inhibits the growth of lateral buds, maintaining apical dominance and directing vertical growth. What is the significance of turgor pressure in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Turgor pressure maintains the rigidity of plant cells, providing structural support and aiding in cell expansion and growth. How do mycorrhizal associations benefit plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Mycorrhizal fungi enhance nutrient and water absorption in plants by extending the surface area of their roots. What is the role of cytokinin in delaying leaf senescence?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cytokinins delay leaf senescence by promoting nutrient mobilization and maintaining chlorophyll levels in leaves. How do guard cells regulate transpiration in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Guard cells control the opening and closing of stomata, thus regulating water loss through transpiration based on environmental conditions. How does the C3 pathway differ from the C4 pathway in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The C3 pathway directly fixes CO2 using rubisco in the Calvin cycle, while the C4 pathway initially fixes CO2 into a 4-carbon compound before the Calvin cycle. How do plants absorb nutrients from the soil?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Nutrients are absorbed through root hairs via active and passive transport processes, including ion exchange and diffusion. What is the significance of respiratory quotient, RQ, in plant respiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The respiratory quotient, RQ, is the ratio of CO2 produced to O2 consumed during respiration, indicating the type of substrate being metabolized. How do xerophytes adapt to arid environments?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Xerophytes have adaptations like thick cuticles, sunken stomata, and reduced leaf surface area to minimize water loss. How do auxins influence cell elongation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxins promote cell elongation by increasing the plasticity of the cell wall, allowing it to stretch during growth. How do plants use ATP during active transport?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ATP provides energy to pump ions and molecules across cell membranes against their concentration gradient, enabling active transport. How do temperature and humidity affect transpiration rates in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
High temperatures increase transpiration rates by causing more evaporation, while high humidity decreases transpiration due to reduced water vapor gradient. What is the role of plastocyanin in the electron transport chain?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plastocyanin transfers electrons between cytochrome B6F complex and photosystem I during the light-dependent reactions of photosynthesis. How do plants regulate water loss through stomatal movement?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Stomatal opening and closing are controlled by changes in turgor pressure in guard cells, influenced by factors like light, CO2 levels, and water availability. What is the significance of proton pumps in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Proton pumps create an electrochemical gradient by pumping H ions out of the cell, which drives the active transport of nutrients and ions. How does photorespiration affect the efficiency of photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photorespiration decreases the efficiency of photosynthesis by diverting energy and reducing carbon fixation when rubisco reacts with oxygen instead of CO2. What is the function of rubisco in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Rubisco catalyzes the fixation of CO2 in the Calvin cycle, producing a 3-carbon compound, PGA, in the C3 pathway. What are the components of the phloem tissue in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phloem tissue consists of sieve tube elements, companion cells, phloem fibers, and phloem parenchyma, which are involved in transporting nutrients. How do enzymes in the Calvin cycle regenerate RUBP?
3, 2, 1, 0.
In the Calvin cycle, RUBP, ribulose bisphosphate, is regenerated using ATP, allowing the cycle to continue fixing CO2. What is the role of the Casparian strip in the root?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The Casparian strip in the root endodermis blocks the apoplastic pathway, forcing water and nutrients to pass through the selectively permeable plasma membrane. How do aquaporins facilitate water transport in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Aquaporins are membrane proteins that form channels for the passive transport of water across cell membranes. How do proton gradients drive ATP synthesis in chloroplasts?
3, 2,
proton gradients created across the thylakoid membrane during the light-dependent reactions drive ATP synthesis by ATP synthase. What is the role of peroxisomes in photorespiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Peroxisomes metabolize glycolate produced during photorespiration, converting it into glycine and later into serine. How do plants respond to drought stress at the cellular level?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Under drought stress, plants accumulate solutes like proline and close stomata to reduce water loss while protecting cellular structures. How does photoinhibition affect photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photoinhibition occurs when excessive light damages the photosynthetic machinery, particularly photosystem II, reducing the rate of photosynthesis. What is the role of manganese in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Manganese is a cofactor in the water-splitting reaction during the light-dependent reactions, where it helps release oxygen from water. How do guard cells maintain ion balance during stomatal movement?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Guard cells actively transport potassium ions to control their turgor pressure, leading to the opening or closing of stomata. How does the Calvin cycle differ between C3 and CAM plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
In C3 plants, the Calvin cycle occurs during the day, while in CAM plants, CO2 is fixed at night, stored as malic acid, and used during the day for photosynthesis. How do plants regulate the uptake of mineral ions from the soil?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants regulate mineral uptake through active transport mechanisms involving specific ion channels and proton pumps in root cells. What is the function of boron in plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Boron is essential for cell wall formation, membrane integrity, and the regulation of carbohydrate transport in plants. How do leg hemoglobin and nitrogenase function in nitrogen fixation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Leg hemoglobin binds oxygen, protecting nitrogenase, which catalyzes the conversion of atmospheric nitrogen, N2, into ammonia, NH3, in nitrogen-fixing nodules. How does the chloroplast structure facilitate photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Chloroplasts have a double membrane with internal thylakoids where light-dependent reactions occur, and the stroma where the Calvin cycle takes place. How do changes in light intensity affect stomatal movement?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Stomata open in response to light, particularly blue light, as it triggers potassium ion influx into guard cells, increasing their turgor pressure. What is the role of phosphorus in plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phosphorus is a key component of ATP, nucleic acids, and phospholipids, playing a vital role in energy transfer and metabolic reactions. How do plants adapt to nutrient-deficient soils?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants adapt to nutrient-deficient soils through mechanisms such as forming symbiotic relationships with mycorrhiza, root nodules, or increasing root surface area. What is the role of ATP and NADPH in the Calvin cycle?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ATP and NADPH produced in the light-dependent reactions provide energy and reducing power for the fixation of CO2 and synthesis of carbohydrates in the Calvin cycle. What is the role of potassium in plant nutrition?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Potassium regulates osmosis, stomatal movement, enzyme activation, and the transport of sugars within plants. How do gibberellins promote seed germination?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Gibberellins trigger the production of enzymes like amylase, which breaks down stored starch into sugars to provide energy for germination. What is the significance of turgor pressure in guard cells for stomatal opening?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Turgor pressure in guard cells increases due to water influx when potassium ions accumulate, causing stomata to open. How does temperature impact seed dormancy and germination?
3, 2, 1, 0.
High temperatures can break seed dormancy by disrupting inhibitors like abscisic acid, while optimum temperatures promote germination by activating enzymes. How do water and nutrient uptake differ between monocots and dicots?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Monocots typically have fibrous root systems that spread out for shallow water and nutrient absorption, while dicots have taproots that allow for deeper absorption. What role does cytokinin play in cell division and differentiation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cytokinins promote cell division and differentiation by stimulating the synthesis of proteins and regulating the cell cycle. How does the electron transport chain function during oxidative phosphorylation in plant? Mitochondria?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The electron transport chain in mitochondria transfers electrons, pumping protons to generate a proton gradient that drives ATP synthesis. How does magnesium deficiency affect photosynthesis in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Magnesium is a central component of chlorophyll. Its deficiency results in chlorosis and impaired photosynthesis. What is the role of ATP synthase in the chloroplast?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ATP synthase in the chloroplast generates ATP during the light-dependent reactions by utilizing the proton gradient created across the thylakoid membrane. How does pH affect enzyme activity in photosynthesis and respiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Enzymes in photosynthesis and respiration have an optimal pH range. Outside this range, enzyme activity declines, affecting metabolic processes. How do plants respond to waterlogging stress?
3, 2, 1, 0.
In response to waterlogging, some plants develop parenchyma tissue, which helps transport oxygen to submerged roots. What is the role of transpirational pull in water transport?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Transpirational pull creates a negative pressure in the leaves, drawing water upward from the roots through the xylem. How does calcium influence cell wall formation in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Calcium helps in the formation of calcium pectate, which is essential for maintaining the structural integrity of plant cell walls. What is the function of plastoquinone in the photosynthetic electron transport chain?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plastoquinone transfers electrons from photosystem II to the cytochrome B6F complex in the electron transport chain. How do plants regulate the balance between photosynthesis and respiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants balance photosynthesis and respiration by modulating enzyme activity and stomatal opening, based on light, temperature, and internal energy needs. What is the role of phytochromes in plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phytochromes are light receptors that regulate processes like seed germination, stem elongation, and flowering based on light conditions. How does phototropism help plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phototropism allows plants to grow toward light sources, optimizing photosynthesis by positioning leaves for maximum light absorption. How do plants maintain osmotic balance during drought conditions?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants accumulate osmolytes like proline and sugars to maintain osmotic balance, preventing water loss during drought. How do sink and source relations affect phloem transport?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phloem transport depends on the source, leaves, where sugars are produced, and sink, roots, fruits, where sugars are used or stored. What is the role of ATP in active ion uptake in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ATP provides the energy for active transport of ions against their concentration gradients, especially in root cells. How do cytokinins affect apical dominance?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cytokinins counteract the inhibitory effect of auxins on lateral bud growth, reducing apical dominance and promoting branching. How does the cuticle reduce water loss in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The waxy cuticle forms a barrier that reduces water loss through the epidermis by limiting evaporation. What is the role of nitrate reductase in nitrogen assimilation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Nitrate reductase catalyzes the reduction of nitrate number 3 to nitrite number 2 during nitrogen assimilation in plants. How do plants use ethylene to respond to mechanical stress?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ethylene promotes stem thickening and reduced elongation in response to mechanical stress, like wind or touch, helping plants withstand stress. How do photosystem I and photosystem II differ in function?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photosystem II absorbs light and splits water molecules to release oxygen, while photosystem I absorbs light to produce NADPH in photosynthesis. What is the role of potassium ions in opening stomata?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Potassium ions accumulate in guard cells, increasing their osmotic pressure, leading to water influx and stomatal opening. How does abscisic acid help plants survive drought conditions?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Abscisic acid induces stomatal closure to reduce water loss and triggers dormancy in seeds during drought conditions. How does oxygen inhibit nitrogenase activity in nitrogen fixation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Oxygen inhibits nitrogenase activity by binding to it. Thus leguminous plants maintain low oxygen levels in root nodules with leg hemoglobin. How does the enzyme RuBisCO exhibit dual activity in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
RuBisCO ACTS is both a carboxylase, fixing CO2, and an oxygenase, fixing O2 during photorespiration, affecting photosynthetic efficiency. What is the significance of chloroplast stroma in the Calvin cycle?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The stroma contains enzymes for the Calvin cycle, where CO2 is fixed into organic compounds like glucose. How does stomata respond to light and CO2 concentration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Stomata open in response to light, especially blue light, and low internal CO2 concentration, allowing gas exchange. How do C3 plants differ from CAM plants in terms of CO2 fixation?
3, 2,
C3 plants fix CO2 during the day through the Calvin cycle, while CAM plants fix CO2 at night and store it as malate to use during the day. How does water potential influence water movement in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water moves from regions of higher water potential to lower water potential, driving water transport in the plant. How does zinc deficiency affect plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Zinc is required for the synthesis of auxins and certain enzymes. Its deficiency leads to stunted growth and reduced internode length. How do plants excrete waste products?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants excrete waste products through diffusion, storage in vacuoles, shedding leaves, or exudation of resins and gums. What is the function of cytochrome B6F complex in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The cytochrome B6F complex transfers electrons between photosystem II and photosystem I, contributing to the proton gradient across the thylakoid membrane. How do gibberellins influence fruit development?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Gibberellins promote fruit growth and development by enhancing cell elongation and division in fruits. How does passive transport differ from active transport in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Passive transport involves the movement of molecules along their concentration gradient without energy input, while active transport requires ATP to move molecules against their gradient. What is the role of mitochondrial cristae in respiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The cristae increase the surface area for the electron transport chain, where ATP is produced during oxidative phosphorylation. How do halophytes adapt to saline environments?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Halophytes secrete excess salts through specialized salt glands and accumulate compatible solutes, like proline, to maintain osmotic balance. What is the function of NADP in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
NADP is the final electron acceptor in the light reactions, becoming NADPH, which is used in the Calvin cycle for carbon fixation. How does transpiration help in nutrient transport in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Transpiration creates a negative pressure in the xylem, helping to pull water and dissolved nutrients from the roots to the leaves. How do plants store the products of photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants store the products of photosynthesis, such as glucose, in the form of starch in leaves, stems, roots, and seeds. What is the function of ATP during glycolysis in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ATP provides the energy to phosphorylate glucose during the first steps of glycolysis, allowing the breakdown of glucose into pyruvate. How does the Kranz anatomy of C4 plants improve their efficiency?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The Kranz anatomy allows spatial separation of CO2 fixation and the Calvin cycle, reducing photorespiration in C4 plants. What is the role of endodermis in selective nutrient uptake?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The endodermis, with its Casparian strip, controls the selective uptake of minerals by forcing water to pass through the plasma membrane. How does photoperiodism regulate flowering in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photoperiodism involves the response of plants to the relative lengths of day and night, influencing the timing of flowering. How do antiport and symport differ in ion transport in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Antiport moves two substances in opposite directions across a membrane, while symport moves them in the same direction. What role does iron play in plant metabolism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Iron is essential for chlorophyll synthesis and is a component of enzymes involved in respiration and nitrogen metabolism. How does succinate dehydrogenase function in the Krebs cycle?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Succinate dehydrogenase catalyzes the oxidation of succinate to fumarate in the Krebs cycle, generating FADH2. What is the role of xylem parenchyma in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Xylem parenchyma stores nutrients and water, and it also aids in lateral conduction of water in plants. How does cyclic photophosphorylation differ from non-cyclic photophosphorylation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
In cyclic photophosphorylation, only photosystem I is involved, and only ATP is produced, whereas non-cyclic involves both photosystems and produces ATP, NADPH, and oxygen. How do adventitious roots differ from taproots in function and structure?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Adventitious roots arise from non-root tissues and provide additional support, while taproots grow from the radicle and anchor the plant deeply. How does the Q10 coefficient relate to plant respiration rates?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The Q10 coefficient describes the rate of respiration, which typically doubles with a 10 degrees Celsius rise in temperature. What is the role of auxins in apical dominance?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxins produced at the shoot apex suppress the growth of lateral buds, maintaining apical dominance. How does transpiration aid in nutrient distribution in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Transpiration pulls water and dissolved nutrients upward from the roots to the leaves via the xylem. What is the role of the PEP carboxylase enzyme in C4 plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
PEP carboxylase fixes CO2 into oxaloacetate in the mesophyll cells of C4 plants, which is later transferred to bundle sheath cells for the Calvin cycle. How does stomata respond to abscisic acid during water stress?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Abscisic acid signals stomatal closure during water stress to prevent excessive water loss. How does sulfur deficiency manifest in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Sulfur deficiency leads to chlorosis in younger leaves, stunted growth, and reduced protein synthesis in plants. What role does ATP play in the Calvin cycle?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ATP provides the energy for carbon fixation and the regeneration of RUBP in the Calvin cycle during photosynthesis. What is the role of proton pumps in root cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Proton pumps create an electrochemical gradient by actively pumping protons out of root cells, facilitating nutrient uptake via ion channels. How does auxin promote root initiation in plant cuttings?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxin promotes cell division and elongation, encouraging root formation in plant cuttings. How does leaf anatomy affect the rate of transpiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Leaves with thicker cuticles, fewer stomata, or sunken stomata reduce transpiration, while thinner cuticles increase it. What is the role of ethylene in fruit ripening?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ethylene promotes the breakdown of cell walls, conversion of starches to sugars, and the degradation of chlorophyll, leading to fruit ripening. How does magnesium deficiency affect plant metabolism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Magnesium is a central atom in chlorophyll, Its deficiency leads to reduced chlorophyll production and impaired photosynthesis. What is the role of the bundle sheath cells in C4 plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Bundle sheath cells in C4 plants are the site of the Calvin cycle, where CO2 released from malate is fixed into carbohydrates. How does the light saturation point affect photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The light saturation point is the intensity beyond which light no longer increases the rate of photosynthesis. As other factors become limiting. How does manganese contribute to photosynthetic reactions?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Manganese is a cofactor in the water-splitting complex of photosystem II, aiding in the release of oxygen from water. What is the significance of malate in cam plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Malate ACTS is a temporary storage form of CO2, fixed at night and used during the day for photosynthesis in cam plants. How does diffusion differ from osmosis in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Diffusion is the movement of molecules from high to low concentration, while osmosis specifically refers to the movement of water across a semi-permeable membrane. What is the role of the enzyme amylase in seed germination?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Amylase breaks down stored starch in seeds into sugars, providing energy for seed germination. How do sieve tube elements facilitate transport in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Sieve tube elements, connected by sieve plates, allow the movement of organic nutrients like sugars through the phloem. How does temperature affect enzyme activity in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Enzyme activity in photosynthesis typically increases with temperature up to an optimum point, after which it declines. How does copper deficiency affect plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Copper is essential for enzyme activity and chlorophyll synthesis. Its deficiency leads to stunted growth and wilting. How do xylem vessels differ from tracheids in structure and function?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Xylem vessels are larger and more efficient at water transport, while tracheids are narrower and provide structural support and water conduction. How do light reactions and dark reactions differ in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Light reactions convert light energy into chemical energy, ATP and NADPH, while dark reactions, Calvin cycle, fix CO2 into organic compounds like glucose. How does phloem loading occur in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phloem loading involves the active transport of sucrose into sieve tubes from mesophyll cells, through symplast or apoplast pathways. What is the significance of turgor pressure in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Turgor pressure provides structural support to plant cells, maintaining rigidity in tissues and aiding in stomatal opening. How does auxin affect cell elongation in shoots?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxin stimulates cell elongation by increasing the plasticity of cell walls, allowing cells to expand. How does nitrate assimilation occur in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Nitrate is reduced to nitrite by nitrate reductase, then further reduced to ammonia by nitrite reductase for incorporation into amino acids. How do CAM plants minimize water loss during photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
CAM plants open their stomata at night to fix CO2, storing it as malate, and close their stomata during the day to minimize water loss. What is the role of phytochrome in seed germination?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phytochrome senses red and far red light, regulating seed germination based on light conditions. How does the proton gradient drive ATP synthesis in chloroplasts?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The proton gradient generated during electron transport in the thylakoid membrane drives ATP synthesis via ATP synthase. How do guard cells regulate stomatal opening and closing?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Guard cells swell with water, opening stomata, and lose water to close stomata, regulated by light, CO2 levels, and hormones. What is the role of calcium ions in plant signaling?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Calcium ions act as secondary messengers in various plant signaling pathways, including responses to environmental stimuli and hormones. How does the glyoxylate cycle support seed germination in fat-storing seeds?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The glyoxylate cycle converts stored fats into sugars, providing energy for seedling growth before photosynthesis begins. How does potassium affect enzyme activation in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Potassium activates various enzymes involved in protein synthesis, photosynthesis, and respiration in plant cells. What is the function of the Casparian strip in roots?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The Casparian strip forces water and solutes to pass through the plasma membranes of endodermal cells, regulating the uptake of nutrients. What is the role of cytokinin in delaying senescence?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cytokinins delay leaf senescence by promoting cell division and chloroplast activity, thus maintaining leaf functions. How does sulfur contribute to amino acid synthesis in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Sulfur is a component of certain amino acids like cysteine and methionine, crucial for protein synthesis in plants. How do aquaporins facilitate water movement in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Aquaporins are membrane proteins that facilitate the passive transport of water molecules across cell membranes. How does photorespiration affect photosynthetic efficiency in C3 plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photorespiration consumes oxygen and releases CO2 without producing ATP or sugars. reducing the efficiency of photosynthesis. What role do sieve plates play in the phloem?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Sieve plates are perforated cell walls that allow the flow of phloem sap between sieve tube elements. How does temperature influence the rate of transpiration in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Higher temperatures increase the rate of transpiration by increasing water vapor pressure and stomatal opening. How does photolysis of water contribute to the light reactions of photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photolysis splits water molecules into oxygen, protons, and electrons, replenishing electrons lost by photosystem II during the light reactions. How does boron deficiency affect reproductive development in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Boron deficiency impairs pollen tube growth, leading to poor fertilization and reduced seed and fruit development. How do reactive oxygen species, ROS, form during photosynthesis? And how do plants mitigate their effects?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ROS form as byproducts of electron transport. Plants mitigate ROS damage through antioxidants like superoxide dismutase. How does the Calvin cycle regenerate RUBP?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The Calvin cycle regenerates RUBP from glyceryldehyde 3-phosphate G3P through a series of reactions requiring ATP. How does blue light influence stomatal opening?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Blue light triggers proton pumps in guard cells, causing them to take up potassium ions, which leads to water influx and stomatal opening. How do leguminous plants benefit from their association with nitrogen-fixing bacteria?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Nitrogen-fixing bacteria in root nodules convert atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, providing a source of usable nitrogen for plant growth. What is the function of plastocyanin in the electron transport chain of photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plastocyanin transfers electrons from the cytochrome B6F complex to photosystem I during the light reactions of photosynthesis. How do mycorrhiza enhance phosphorus uptake in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Mycorrhiza are symbiotic fungi that increase the surface area for phosphorus absorption from the soil. How do plants detect and respond to changes in day length, photoperiod?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants detect changes in day length using phytochromes and cryptochromes, which influence flowering and other developmental processes. How do cam plants conserve water in arid environments?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cam plants open their stomata at night to fix CO2 and store it as malic acid, then close their stomata during the day to conserve water. How does gibberellin promote seed germination?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Gibberellin stimulates the production of enzymes like amylase that break down stored starch into sugars, providing energy for the growing seedling. How do auxins help in the formation of adventitious roots?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxins promote the development of adventitious roots by stimulating cell division and elongation in the rooting zone. How does phloem transport occur through pressure flow hypothesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The pressure flow hypothesis explains that phloem sap moves from source, high pressure, to sink, low pressure, driven by osmotic pressure gradients. How does the Calvin cycle depend on light reactions of photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The Calvin cycle depends on the ATP and NADPH produced during the light reactions to drive the fixation of CO2 into carbohydrates. How does the transpiration pool contribute to water movement in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Transpiration pool creates a negative pressure in the xylem, pulling water upward from roots to leaves through cohesion and adhesion. What is the role of rubisco in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Rubisco, ribulose bisphosphate carboxylase, catalyzes the fixation of CO2 into an organic compound in the Calvin cycle. How does iron play a role in the synthesis of chlorophyll?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Iron is an essential cofactor in enzymes that are involved in chlorophyll biosynthesis. How does leaf abscission occur in response to environmental stress?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Leaf abscission is promoted by ethylene and occurs through the formation of an abscission zone at the base of the leaf petiole. What is the function of plastoquinone in the electron transport chain of photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plastoquinone transfers electrons from photosystem II to the cytochrome B6F complex during the light-dependent reactions of photosynthesis. How do guard cells differ from other epidermal cells in terms of function?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Guard cells regulate the opening and closing of stomata, controlling gas exchange and water loss. Unlike other epidermal cells that primarily provide protection, what role does NADPH play in the Calvin cycle?
3, 2, 1, 0.
NADPH provides the reducing power for the conversion of 3-phosphoglycerate into glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate during the Calvin cycle. How does the pressure flow mechanism explain translocation in phloem?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The pressure flow mechanism suggests that sugars are actively transported into sieve tubes, creating a pressure difference that drives the flow of sap from source to sink. How do environmental conditions affect the rate of stomatal transpiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
High temperature, low humidity, and wind increase the rate of stomatal transpiration, while high humidity and low temperature reduce it. How does ethylene regulate the ripening of climacteric fruits?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ethylene promotes the production of enzymes that break down cell walls and convert starch to sugars, softening and sweetening the fruit. What is the role of molybdenum in nitrogen fixation? Molybdenum is a cofactor for the enzyme nitrogenase, which catalyzes the reduction of atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia in nitrogen-fixing bacteria. How does abscisic acid, ABA, help plants during drought stress?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ABA induces stomatal closure to reduce water loss through transpiration and promotes the accumulation of osmolytes to protect cells from dehydration. How do trichomes reduce water loss in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Trichomes are hair-like structures on plant surfaces that reduce water loss by reflecting sunlight and creating a boundary layer of still air around the leaf. How does magnesium contribute to ATP synthesis in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Magnesium ACTS is a cofactor for ATP synthase, facilitating the production of ATP during photophosphorylation and respiration. How do guard cells maintain turgor pressure to regulate stomatal function?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Guard cells absorb potassium ions and water, causing them to swell and open stomata. When ions are released, turgor decreases, and stomata close. How does photorespiration reduce the efficiency of C3 plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photorespiration occurs when rubisco fixes oxygen instead of CO2, leading to the production of 2-phosphoglycolate, which is metabolically expensive and reduces overall carbon fixation. How does root pressure contribute to water movement in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Root pressure is generated when ions are actively transported into the xylem, creating a positive pressure that pushes water upward through the plant. How does zinc deficiency affect plant metabolism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Zinc is a cofactor for enzymes like carbonic anhydrase and is essential for auxin synthesis. Its deficiency leads to stunted growth and chlorosis. How does the alternation of generations in plants involve both haploid and diploid phases?
3, 2, 1, 0.
In plants, the alternation of generations involves a multicellular haploid gametophyte that produces gametes, and a multicellular diploid sporophyte that produces spores. How do plasmodesmata facilitate intercellular transport in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plasmodesmata are channels that allow the direct transport of small molecules, ions, and signaling compounds between plant cells. How does phosphoryl pyruvate carboxylase, PEPcase, function in C4 and CAM plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
PEPcase catalyzes the initial fixation of CO2 into oxaloacetate, which is later converted into malate in C4 and CAM plants, helping them avoid photorespiration. How do auxins promote apical dominance in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxins produced at the shoot apex inhibit the growth of lateral buds, maintaining apical dominance by concentrating growth at the tip. How does potassium regulate osmotic balance in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Potassium ions help regulate osmotic pressure in guard cells, influencing stomatal movement and maintaining cell turgor. How does transpiration aid in the ascent of sap?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Transpiration creates a negative pressure in the leaves, pulling water upward through the xylem from the roots via cohesion tension forces. What is the role of cytochrome C in cellular respiration in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cytochrome C is part of the electron transport chain in mitochondria, transferring electrons between complexes 3 and IV during oxidative phosphorylation. How does CO2 concentration affect the rate of photosynthesis in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Higher CO2 concentrations increase the rate of photosynthesis up to a point, after which other factors like light and temperature become limiting. How does phloem sap differ from xylem sap in terms of composition?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phloem sap contains sugars, amino acids, and other organic molecules, while xylem sap primarily transports water and dissolved minerals. What is the role of gibberellins in bolting of rosette plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Gibberellins promote stem elongation, leading to bolting, which is the rapid vertical growth seen in rosette plants just before flowering. How does the enzyme RuBisCO contribute to both carbon fixation and photorespiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
RuBisCO catalyzes both the fixation of CO2 during the Calvin cycle and the fixation of O2 during photorespiration, depending on the relative concentrations of these gases. How does blue light promote phototropism in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Blue light is sensed by phototropins, which initiate a signaling cascade that leads to auxin redistribution and cell elongation on the shaded side of the plant. How does cytoplasmic streaming help in the movement of organelles in plant cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cytoplasmic streaming involves the flow of cytoplasm, which transports organelles and nutrients within the cell, aiding in cellular distribution and function. How does water potential affect the movement of water in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water moves from regions of higher water potential to regions of lower water potential, following the gradient. What is the function of the endodermis in roots?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The endodermis regulates the movement of water and minerals into the vascular tissue, acting as a selective barrier. How does transpiration influence nutrient uptake in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Transpiration creates a tension that helps draw water and dissolved minerals from the soil into the plant xylem. What is the importance of photoperiodism in flowering?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photoperiodism allows plants to regulate flowering based on the length of day and night, ensuring reproductive success in suitable seasons. How does the hormone ethylene influence leaf abscission?
3, 2, 1, 0.
promotes the formation of an abscission layer at the base of the petiole, leading to leaf drop. What is the role of ATP synthase in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ATP synthase catalyzes the formation of ATP from ADP, an inorganic phosphate, powered by the flow of protons across the thylakoid membrane. How does C4 photosynthesis minimize photorespiration?
3, 2, 1, 0.
C4 photosynthesis separates the initial CO2 fixation from the Calvin cycle in different cell types, reducing oxygen interference with rubisco. How does calcium play a role in maintaining the integrity of cell walls?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Calcium forms cross-links between pectin molecules in the cell wall, helping to stabilize and strengthen the wall structure. How do hydrophytes adapt to their water-rich environments?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Hydrophytes have features like reduced cuticles, large air spaces, and floating leaves to facilitate buoyancy and gas exchange. How does potassium contribute to stomatal function?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Potassium ions accumulate in guard cells, causing them to take up water and open the stomata, facilitating gas exchange and transpiration. What is the role of nitrate reductase in nitrogen metabolism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Nitrate reductase catalyzes the conversion of nitrate, number 3, into nitrite, number 2, the first step in the assimilation of nitrogen into organic molecules. How does temperature affect the rate of respiration in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Respiration rates increase with temperature due to enhanced enzyme activity, but extremely high temperatures can denature enzymes and inhibit respiration. How do xerophytes minimize water loss?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Xerophytes have adaptations like thick cuticles, reduced leaf area, and sunken stomata to reduce water loss in arid environments. How does carbon fixation differ in C3 and C4 plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
C3 plants fix CO2 directly through rubisco in the Calvin cycle, while C4 plants initially fix CO2 into a 4-carbon compound using PEP carboxylase. How does the hormone gibberellin break seed dormancy?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Gibberellin promotes the synthesis of enzymes like amylase that break down starch reserves, providing energy for germination. What is the role of pericycle in root growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The pericycle is responsible for the initiation of lateral roots, contributing to root branching and the plant's anchorage. How do C4 plants avoid photorespiration under high temperatures?
3, 2, 1, 0.
C4 plants spatially separate CO2 fixation and the Calvin cycle, concentrating CO2 around rubisco to avoid photorespiration. How does magnesium deficiency affect photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Magnesium is a component of chlorophyll, and its deficiency leads to chlorosis, yellowing of leaves, reducing the plant's photosynthetic efficiency. What is the function of hemicellulose in the plant cell wall?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Hemicellulose binds cellulose fibers together, contributing to the strength and flexibility of the plant cell wall. How does photophosphorylation occur during photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photosphorylation is the process of converting light energy into chemical energy in the form of ATP during the light-dependent reactions of photosynthesis. How does the cuticle protect plants from excessive water loss?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The cuticle is a waxy layer on the surface of leaves and stems that minimizes water loss by acting as a barrier to evaporation. How does oxygen inhibit photosynthesis in C3 plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Oxygen competes with CO2 for binding to rubisco, leading to photorespiration, which reduces the efficiency of photosynthesis in C3 plants. How do sieve tube elements transport sap in the phloem?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Sieve tube elements are elongated cells with sieve plates that allow the movement of sap between cells via pressure flow. How does sulfur deficiency affect protein synthesis in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Sulfur is a component of certain amino acids, cysteine and methionine, and its deficiency leads to impaired protein synthesis and stunted growth. What is the role of antiporters in plant ion transport?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Antiporters transport one ion into the cell while simultaneously transporting another ion out, maintaining ionic balance across the membrane. How does the light compensation point affect plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The light compensation point is the light intensity at which the rate of photosynthesis equals the rate of respiration, influencing growth in shaded environments. How do C3 and CAM plants differ in their carbon fixation pathways? 3 plants fix CO2 directly through rubisco in the Calvin cycle, while CAM plants fix CO2 at night into organic acids, storing it for daytime photosynthesis. What is the function of ferredoxin in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ferredoxin is involved in the transfer of electrons from photosystem I to NADP+ during the light reactions, helping to form NADPH. How does copper contribute to plant metabolism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Copper is a cofactor for enzymes involved in photosynthesis, respiration, and lignin synthesis, playing a vital role in overall plant metabolism. How does the hormone abscisic acid, ABA, regulate stomatal closure?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ABA triggers the efflux of potassium ions from guard cells, leading to loss of water and stomatal closure, conserving water during drought. How does light intensity influence the rate of photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1,
Increased light intensity raises the rate of photosynthesis up to a certain point, beyond which other factors become limiting. What is the significance of the light harvesting complexes in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Light harvesting complexes absorb light energy and transfer it to chlorophyll molecules in photosystems, enhancing the efficiency of photosynthesis. How do legumes enhance nitrogen availability in soil?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Legumes form symbiotic relationships with nitrogen-fixing bacteria, e.g., rhizobium, which convert atmospheric nitrogen into a usable form for plants. What is the role of gibberellins in stem elongation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Gibberellins promote cell elongation and division, resulting in increased stem length and height in plants. How do sink and source tissues function in phloem translocation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Source tissues, e.g., leaves, produce and export sugars, while sink tissues, e.g., roots and fruits, consume sugars for growth and energy. What is the role of peroxidase in plant metabolism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Peroxidase enzymes catalyze the breakdown of hydrogen peroxide and play a role in lignin formation, contributing to plant cell wall integrity. How do phototropins mediate plant responses to light?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phototropins are light receptors that trigger growth responses, such as bending toward light, by regulating auxin distribution. What is the role of xylem in plant physiology?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Xylem transports water and dissolved minerals from roots to aerial parts of the plant, playing a critical role in maintaining hydration and nutrient supply. How does the process of fermentation differ between aerobic and anaerobic conditions in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Aerobic fermentation occurs in the presence of oxygen, producing more ATP, while anaerobic fermentation occurs without oxygen, producing less ATP and byproducts like ethanol or lactic acid. How does stomata contribute to photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Stomata are pores on leaf surfaces that regulate gas exchange, allowing CO2 to enter for photosynthesis while facilitating water vapor release. How do auxins influence root development?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxins promote the formation of lateral roots and enhance root elongation, aiding in overall root system growth. What is the significance of the Casparian strip in roots?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The Casparian strip is a waterproof barrier in the endodermis that forces water and solutes to pass through cell membranes, regulating uptake. How does nitrogen fixation occur in root nodules?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Nitrogen-fixing bacteria convert atmospheric nitrogen, N2, into ammonia, NH3, within root nodules, providing usable nitrogen for the host plant. How do chilling temperatures affect plant metabolism?
3,
Chilling temperatures can impair enzyme activity, disrupt membrane integrity, and slow down metabolic processes, affecting plant growth. How does the process of respiration differ between plants and animals?
3, 2, 1, 0.
While both plants and animals undergo cellular respiration to produce ATP, plants can also perform photosynthesis, capturing light energy to generate glucose. How does the balance of auxins and cytokinins affect plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The balance of auxins, promoting elongation, and cytokinins, promoting cell division, influences growth patterns, such as apical dominance and lateral bud development. How does soil salinity affect plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
High soil salinity leads to osmotic stress, reducing water uptake and causing physiological drought, which inhibits plant growth. How do leguminous plants contribute to soil fertility?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Leguminous plants fix atmospheric nitrogen in root nodules, enriching the soil with nitrogen when they decompose or when roots die. How does the phloem transport sugars from source to sink?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phloem transports sugars through a pressure flow mechanism, where sugars are actively loaded into the phloem, creating a pressure gradient that drives flow. What role do mycorrhizae play in plant nutrition?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Mycorrhizae are symbiotic associations between fungi and plant roots that enhance nutrient uptake, particularly phosphorus, improving plant growth. How do strigalactones affect plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Strigalactones regulate shoot branching and promote symbiotic relationships with mycorrhizal fungi, influencing overall plant architecture. How does the internal structure of a leaf facilitate photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The internal structure, including mesophyll cells and chloroplasts, maximizes light absorption and gas exchange, optimizing photosynthesis. How does auxin contribute to fruit development?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxin promotes cell elongation and division in fruit tissues, influencing growth and development after fertilization. How does the plant hormone abscisic acid, ABA, influence seed dormancy?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ABA promotes seed dormancy by inhibiting germination, ensuring that seeds remain inactive until conditions are favorable for growth. How does water stress affect photosynthesis in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water stress leads to stomatal closure, reducing CO2 availability and inhibiting photosynthesis, ultimately affecting plant growth. What is the function of the shoot apical meristem in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The shoot apical meristem is responsible for primary growth, producing new leaves and stems, and enabling vertical growth of the plant. How do light and temperature interact to affect plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Light and temperature both influence photosynthesis and respiration rates. Optimal levels enhance growth, while extremes can hinder metabolic functions. What role do carotenoids play in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Carotenoids capture light energy and protect chlorophyll from photo damage, broadening the spectrum of light available for photosynthesis. How does the concentration of auxins vary in different parts of a plant?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxin concentration is typically higher at the shoot tip, promoting elongation there, while lower concentrations in lateral buds promote their growth. How does the structure of chloroplasts facilitate photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Chloroplasts contain thylakoids where light-dependent reactions occur, and stroma where the Calvin cycle takes place, optimizing light absorption and energy conversion. What is the role of the apoplast and symplast pathways in water transport?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The apoplast pathway allows water movement through cell walls, while the symplast pathway involves movement through the cytoplasm and plasmodesmata. How do plants acclimate to high light intensity?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants acclimate by increasing protective pigments, adjusting chlorophyll concentrations, and altering leaf orientation to reduce light exposure. What is the role of phytochromes in plant responses to light?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phytochromes are photoreceptors that detect light changes, regulating processes like seed germination and flowering in response to light quality and duration. How do stomatal movements occur in response to environmental conditions?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Stomata open or close due to changes in turgor pressure in guard cells, influenced by light, humidity, and CO2 concentration. What is the role of the cuticle in plant adaptation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The cuticle provides a protective, waxy layer on leaves and stems, reducing water loss and protecting against pathogens. How does the process of nitrogen assimilation occur in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Nitrogen assimilation involves converting nitrate and ammonium into amino acids, primarily through the action of nitrate reductase and glutamine synthetase. How do environmental factors affect transpiration rates in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Transpiration rates increase with temperature, light intensity, and wind, while humidity decreases transpiration by reducing the water vapor gradient. What is the function of the vascular cambium in secondary growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The vascular cambium is a lateral meristem that produces secondary xylem, wood, and phloem, contributing to the increase in stem and root diameter. How do C4 plants adapt to arid environments?
3, 2, 1, 0.
C4 plants have a modified anatomy and biochemistry that allows them to efficiently fix CO2 in high temperatures and light conditions, minimizing water loss. What is the role of phytohormones in apical dominance?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phytohormones, particularly auxins, promote apical dominance by inhibiting lateral bud growth, directing energy towards the main shoot. How do plants respond to gravity through gravitropism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants respond to gravity by directing root growth downward, positive gravitropism, and shoot growth upward, negative gravitropism. What role do reactive oxygen species, ROS, play in plant signaling?
3, 2, 1, 0.
ROS act as signaling molecules in response to stress, mediating various physiological responses, including defense mechanisms and adaptation to stress. How do mycorrhizal associations enhance phosphorus uptake in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Mycorrhiza extend the root system's surface area, facilitating the absorption of phosphorus and other nutrients from the soil. How do seed dormancy and germination interact in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Seed dormancy prevents germination under unfavorable conditions, while appropriate environmental signals, e.g., water, temperature, trigger germination. How does the distribution of auxins affect plant tropisms?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxin distribution influences cell elongation on one side of the plant, causing bending toward or away from stimuli like light or gravity. What is the significance of the root cap in root development?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The root cap protects the delicate growing tip of the root and aids in the perception of gravity, enabling proper growth direction. How does increased atmospheric CO2 concentration affect photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Increased atmospheric CO2 can enhance the rate of photosynthesis in C3 plants, leading to higher biomass production under optimal conditions. What is the role of water in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water serves as a source of electrons and protons during light-dependent reactions and is essential for the formation of glucose in the Calvin cycle. How do hormones influence fruit ripening?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ethylene promotes fruit ripening by triggering the synthesis of enzymes that degrade cell wall components, leading to softening and color change. What is the impact of temperature on enzyme activity in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Temperature affects enzyme activity. Higher temperatures increase reaction rates to an optimal point, beyond which enzymes may denature and lose function. How do leaf structure and arrangement optimize photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Leaf structure, including broad surfaces and chlorophyll-rich mesophyll, along with optimal arrangement, maximizes light absorption for photosynthesis. How does the water potential gradient drive the movement of water in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Water moves from areas of higher water potential, soil, to lower water potential, roots and leaves, creating a gradient that facilitates transport. What are the consequences of phosphorus deficiency in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phosphorus deficiency leads to poor root development, reduced energy transfer, and overall stunted growth. As phosphorus is vital for ATP and nucleic acids. How do root hairs facilitate nutrient absorption?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Root hairs increase the surface area for absorption, enhancing the uptake of water and dissolved nutrients from the soil. What is the significance of the pH in soil for nutrient availability?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Soil pH affects the solubility of nutrients. Certain nutrients are more available at specific pH levels, impacting plant nutrition and health. How does light quality influence chlorophyll synthesis in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Different light wavelengths affect chlorophyll synthesis. Red and blue light promote chlorophyll production, while green light is less effective. How do heavy metals affect plant growth and metabolism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Heavy metals can be toxic to plants, disrupting enzyme function, inhibiting nutrient uptake, and causing physiological stress, ultimately affecting growth. What is the role of chlorophyll in photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Chlorophyll absorbs light energy, primarily in the blue and red wavelengths, and converts it into chemical energy during photosynthesis. How does the process of transpiration aid in nutrient transport?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Transpiration creates a negative pressure in the leaf, which pulls water and dissolved nutrients upward from the roots through the xylem. How do plants utilize light energy during photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants convert light energy into chemical energy by using it to synthesize glucose from CO2 and water in the presence of chlorophyll. How do abscisic acid levels influence plant responses to drought?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Increased abscisic acid levels during drought lead to stomatal closure, reducing water loss and conserving moisture in the plant. What role do sieve tubes play in phloem function?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Sieve tubes facilitate the transport of sugars and nutrients from source to sink through the phloem. In plants, how do environmental stresses impact plant hormone levels?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Environmental stresses, such as drought and salinity, can lead to increased levels of stress hormones like abscisic acid, affecting growth and development. What is the function of the stomatal guard cells?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Guard cells regulate the opening and closing of stomata, controlling gas exchange and transpiration in response to environmental conditions. How does the process of photosynthesis contribute to the carbon cycle?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Photosynthesis converts atmospheric CO2 into organic compounds, which are then used by living organisms. thus playing a key role in the carbon cycle. How do environmental factors influence root growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Environmental factors such as moisture, temperature, and nutrient availability can enhance or inhibit root growth and development. What is the significance of the endodermis in root structure?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The endodermis, ACTS, is a selective barrier that regulates the movement of water and nutrients into the vascular system of the root. How do leaf anatomy and structure contribute to photosynthesis efficiency?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Leaf anatomy, including a large surface area, thin cuticle, and chloroplast-rich mesophyll, maximizes light absorption and gas exchange. How do light and temperature interact to regulate plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Light and temperature influence photosynthesis and respiration rates. Optimal conditions promote growth, while extremes can hinder metabolic processes. How do root nodules contribute to nitrogen fixation in legumes?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Root nodules house nitrogen-fixing bacteria, which convert atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia, enriching the soil with usable nitrogen. What role do cytokinins play in plant development?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Cytokinins promote cell division and shoot formation, influencing growth patterns and delaying leaf senescence. How does leaf senescence affect plant nutrient recycling?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Leaf senescence involves the breakdown of cellular components, allowing nutrients to be reabsorbed and transported to other parts of the plant. What is the function of the pericycle in root structure?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The pericycle is a layer of cells in roots that can give rise to lateral roots and is involved in secondary growth processes. How does ethylene influence fruit ripening and senescence?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Ethylene promotes fruit ripening by stimulating the synthesis of enzymes that break down cell wall components, leading to softening. What is the effect of high temperatures on plant photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
High temperatures can lead to increased rates of photosynthesis up to an optimum point, after which enzyme denaturation may occur, reducing efficiency. How do environmental conditions influence the flowering of plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Environmental conditions such as light duration, photoperiod, and temperature can trigger flowering in plants, affecting reproductive success. What is the role of lignin in plant structure?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Lignin provides structural support and rigidity to plant cell walls, enabling plants to grow tall and withstand mechanical stresses. How does the structure of mycorrhiza enhance nutrient absorption in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Mycorrhiza increase the surface area for absorption and help in the uptake of nutrients like phosphorus and micronutrients from the soil. What is the function of the leaf mesophyll?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Mesophyll tissue contains chloroplasts and is the primary site of photosynthesis, where light energy is converted into chemical energy. How do variations in soil texture affect water retention in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Soil texture influences water retention. Sandy soils drain quickly while clay soils retain more water, affecting plant hydration and nutrient uptake. How does root morphology influence plant adaptation to different environments?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Different root morphologies, e.g., taproot vs. fibrous roots, allow plants to adapt to varying soil conditions and access water, nutrients. How do secondary metabolites contribute to plant defense?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Secondary metabolites, such as alkaloids and terpenoids, provide chemical defense against herbivores and pathogens, enhancing plant survival. What is the impact of drought stress on plant physiology?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Drought stress leads to stomatal closure, reduced photosynthesis, impaired nutrient transport, and potential leaf wilting or shedding. How do plants respond to high salinity in the environment?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Plants may accumulate compatible solutes, adjust their osmotic potential, or limit salt uptake to cope with high salinity conditions. What role do calcium ions play in plant physiology?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Calcium ions are crucial for maintaining cell wall stability, signaling processes, and regulating enzyme activity in plants. How does the process of respiration differ in germinating seeds compared to mature plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Germinating seeds rely on stored food for energy through anaerobic respiration initially, while mature plants typically rely on aerobic respiration. What is the function of the mesophyll layer in leaves?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The mesophyll layer contains chloroplasts and is the primary site for photosynthesis, facilitating gas exchange through intercellular spaces. How do changes in day length affect flowering in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Changes in day length, photoperiod, can induce flowering in plants by affecting the levels of phytohormones and triggering reproductive development. What is the role of apical meristems in plant growth?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Apical meristems are regions of actively dividing cells at the tips of roots and shoots, responsible for primary growth and elongation. How does the process of osmosis influence water uptake in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Osmosis is the movement of water from areas of higher water potential to lower water potential through semi-permeable membranes, facilitating water uptake in roots. What is the significance of the cuticular layer in leaves?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The cuticular layer reduces water loss through evaporation, providing protection against pathogens and environmental stresses. How does the pH of soil affect nutrient availability to plants?
3, 2,
pH influences the solubility and availability of nutrients. Certain nutrients become more available or less available depending on the pH level. How do guard cells regulate stomatal function?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Guard cells control stomatal opening and closing by changing shape in response to light, humidity, and internal CO2 levels, thereby regulating gas exchange. What is the role of gibberellins in seed germination?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Gibberellins promote seed germination by stimulating the production of enzymes that break down stored food reserves, facilitating growth. How do roots respond to gravitational pull through gravitropism?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Roots exhibit positive gravitropism, growing downward in response to gravity due to differential growth regulated by auxin distribution. What is the function of the vascular tissue in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Vascular tissue, including xylem and phloem, is responsible for the transport of water, minerals, and nutrients throughout the plant. How do temperature fluctuations affect plant enzyme activity?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Enzyme activity generally increases with temperature up to an optimal point. Beyond this, enzymes may denature, leading to decreased activity. What role do flavonoids play in plant defense mechanisms?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Flavonoids act as antioxidants and UV protectants, helping to defend against herbivores and pathogens while also attracting pollinators. How does the process of cellular respiration vary between aerobic and anaerobic conditions in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Aerobic respiration occurs in the presence of oxygen, producing more ATP, while anaerobic respiration occurs in its absence, resulting in less ATP and byproducts like ethanol or lactic acid. What is the significance of root hairs in nutrient uptake?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Root hairs increase the surface area of roots, enhancing the absorption of water and nutrients from the soil, improving overall plant nutrition. How do environmental stresses affect photosynthesis in plants?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Environmental stresses such as drought, extreme temperatures, and high salinity can inhibit photosynthesis by causing stomatal closure and reducing CO2 availability. How do auxins influence plant growth and development?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Auxins promote cell elongation, influence root and shoot growth patterns, and play a role in apical dominance and tropisms. What is the role of the epidermis in plant organs?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The epidermis serves as a protective outer layer for plant organs, preventing water loss, and providing a barrier against pathogens. How does light intensity affect the rate of photosynthesis?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Higher light intensity generally increases the rate of photosynthesis up to a saturation point, beyond which other factors become limiting. What is the role of mycorrhizal fungi in plant nutrient uptake?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Mycorrhizal fungi enhance nutrient absorption, particularly phosphorus, by forming symbiotic relationships with plant roots, improving overall plant health. How do secondary metabolites protect plants from herbivores?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Secondary metabolites such as alkaloids and terpenes can deter herbivores through toxicity or taste aversion, providing a chemical defense mechanism. What is the effect of high temperatures on plant transpiration rates?
3, 2, 1, 0.
High temperatures increase the rate of transpiration due to higher evaporation rates, which can lead to water loss and stress in plants. How do legumes improve soil fertility through nitrogen fixation?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Legumes form symbiotic relationships with nitrogen-fixing bacteria, converting atmospheric nitrogen into a usable form, enriching the soil. What role does the phloem play in plant physiology?
3, 2, 1, 0.
The phloem is responsible for the transport of organic nutrients, primarily sugars produced during photosynthesis, from sources to sinks. How does the phenomenon of phototropism benefit plant survival?
3, 2, 1, 0.
Phototropism allows plants to grow towards light sources, optimizing photosynthesis and energy capture for growth and development.